Well, hi there. This is a quick little video for some shoulder rehabilitation, elbow rehabilitation, wrist rehabilitation. It's all kind of connected together, and if you're going to fix one, you got to fix the whole chain. Okay, so I've got a real good friend who's got a bad shoulder right now that he's needing to rehab. Another friend with a bad wrist. I got some wrist issues going on, so this is the way to go about tackling these things. You got to work the whole kinetic chain, everything from the fingers all the way into the neck. So consider this all one unit on both sides. If one side's especially bad, you might want to dose this 2 to 3 times as many reps on the bad side as you do on the good side. However, it's not a problem just to go ahead and do both sides equally when you're in a rehabilitation mode. So, where do we start? I always like to start here at the hands. If you've got a problem in your shoulders, your problem could be anywhere between your neck and the tips of your fingers. So it's easy to remember to start out here at the fingertips. So first little thing we're going to do is what I call finger flares, okay? It's just open and close, okay? Nothing fancy. So get yourself about 5, 10, 15 sets of that, okay? Then once you've done that, a little bit of this number, back and forth, just kind of get those fingers loosened up a little bit, loosen that hand up. Then, kind of like you're holding a baton or something like that, like you're going to conduct the orchestra, make some circles with the wrist, go one direction, go back the other direction. And wrists are kind of interesting. They can go a lot of different ways. It's also not a bad idea. Flex them up and down, flex them side to side. You're doing these circle things, I mean, you can get them going in opposite directions. You can do all kinds of fun little things. Now, I'm showing you an unweighted version. I also like to use the Indian club for a lot of these same types of exercises. If you don't have Indian clubs, go to your favorite big box hardware store, buy yourself a little rubber mallet. This is a 1 pound rubber mallet, 1 pound Indian club. A pair of these is about $40, a pair of these about $9, okay? So, I'm going to set that one down. Wrist circles. 2 different ways to do those. You can do it with the majority of the weight down, around in a circle. You can do it with the weight up. More challenge with the weight up than with the weight down, okay? So it's a good way to progress on those. Okay, moving up the chain now. Next guy we really need to think about is the elbow. A lot of different things you can do for the elbow. Just to loosen it up though, I like to do one of 2 things. Either an opposite shoulder touch, spend a little time touching the opposite shoulder. Then once you got that nice and warmed up, start trying touching the same shoulder. Elbow is a simple hinge. It doesn't go in a lot of different directions, okay? So you can do circles with the forearm. I mean, you can make that go around in a circle. It looks like your elbow is circling. Your elbow's not. You're actually internally and externally rotating the shoulder. So that's an okay move with an Indian club if you're doing those, but for rehab purposes, we're going to get that area taken care of, so you don't need to worry about that so much. Okay, once we've got those elbows nice and loosened up, I like to make simple, great circles with the shoulders when I move into that area. So you can take those circles in a sagittal plane. You can take them in a frontal plane, both directions. Obviously, you can take them in a horizontal plane as well. Once again, I'm showing you unweighted. You can take your implement, add a degree of difficulty to it, by swinging a lightweight Indian clubs rubber mallets. Definitely a favorite implement of mine to use for those. Now, after you get into here, get these guys loosened up really good, you can come and do touches back over and across to the opposite shoulder. This is a real good stretch, real good way to loosen and mobilize those shoulders. Another good movement to do for that is, and of course, this next one I'm going to show, I'll state this right off the bat. Depending on the nature of your shoulder injury, it's going to depend just how far you go with these touches. But you can either consider a touch to the solar plexus and a touch to the base of the thoracic spine. So you can alternate those. If you got a little bit more ability, you can come up higher to the chest. You might be able to see I've got a little damage to my right shoulder, so I cannot get that right arm internal rotation quite as high as the other. You can take those as center, you can take them to the outside as well. Good motion to use, a very good motion. Okay, to finish this setup, let's move into our neck. It's always important to keep the neck and cervical spine area mobilized as well. There's a really super strong connection between the thoracic spine and the cervical spine. So you want to keep that area in good shape as well. I like to start on my neck with an over-the-shoulder, okay? Just an over-the-shoulder glance. So, and one other thing on these, it's going to be hard for me to do this and talk at the same time, but really concentrate on trying to keep your teeth clenched, not hard. Not, I don't want you having TMJ from doing these exercises, but mouth just closed and the chin tucked back. So let's start with glancing over each shoulder. Good. Then let's go up and down with it and try to make your face parallel to the ceiling when you're looking up. Try to touch the chin to the sternum on the look down, okay? Okay, the third one's going to be a side to side. So ideally what you're thinking about when you're doing this is like you're trying to touch your ear to your shoulder. You're not going to make it. And the other thing to concentrate when you're doing this though is don't like scrunch your shoulder up. Keep your shoulders low on this and try to make your ear go to the shoulder, not the other way around, okay? So let's do some of those. Okay, finally, let's make some circles with the neck. There are a couple of different circular motions that we're going to use here. One is just a neck roll. Don't try to go too big on the circle to start with. Start the circle small, make them get bigger as you go as that neck warms into this motion, okay? So. And of course you want to do both directions on this. All right, good. I also like to imagine that you've got a pencil on the end of your nose and just draw figures. It's a really good way to loosen and mobilize that neck. I like to make little infinity signs like that, which is basically laying an 8 down on its side. You can make a standing 8 though. Some people like to draw the alphabet or the numbers from 1 to 10 or something like that. they're all good. If they make your head move around, loosen that neck up. That's a great way to go. Well, that's a really simple little video just to give you some ideas about loosening this upper body kinetic chain, fingers into the neck. Hope that helps. Talk to you later.